things you did to manipulate your family and feed your addiction.
Number one had to be moving money around, right? Like when I was young and starting out before I had a good job, I had to get money to use, right? So that started out as like, hey mom, I want to go to dinner with some friends when I was in high school. And like, no, 20 bucks isn't enough. I need 30. And then instead of going to dinner with friends, going and getting a $1 cheeseburger at McDonald's and then run into the store and getting a 30 pack of booze, right? So that was like the first time I started doing that. But as I got older, it progressed. Like when I got addicted to cocaine, I needed severely more money, an 8-ball's $250. So that turned into, hey mom, I really want this watch. But you can't put it on your credit card. So can you like give me the cash and I'll go pick it out myself? Or taking my mom's credit card, going to Walmart and getting cash back on it just so I could go and get drugs, right? So that was like the first way that started. Second thing that kind of like came about as I got older was having to constantly lie about where I was, right? So telling my parents like, oh, they know I have work at 8 a.m. I would go stay out all night, rail cocaine with my friends, and I'd come back at like 7 in the morning like, oh, we just had a movie night. I decided to sleep over there, get dressed really quick and go to work. That quickly progressed into my parents like having to show up where they thought I was, which didn't go over well with my friends when I wasn't there, but they quickly could sniff that one out. Other ways was, I was a binge drinker, but also I drank every single day too. So instead of having like a fifth of alcohol in like a water bottle or something, I would buy these 10 packs of little bottles, like airplane travel bottles of liquor, and have my pockets lined with them. So even going to family Christmases, I was always having to go outside to smoke and go to my car and throw a few shooters back. But then I had to hide the alcohol bottle. So I'd have to find like a trash can outside or one that not everybody's going into at the family function. Throw them on top, shake them around a little bit so nobody can see the bottles of alcohol on top. Also just lying to both of my parents, telling them different things. If my dad was like getting, on my case or he was kind of sniffing that something was going wrong, I would tell him I was one place, tell my mom I was another place, right? And hope that they didn't tell each other. Just to kind of like, but then I'd also forget about where I told each of them I was, and then I'd have to explain like, oh yeah, mom, like sorry, I was gonna go to this person's house, but I ended up over at this person's house, or I was hanging out with my girlfriend when really I was like downtown in a motel. So that was like the fourth way. I think the last way I would manipulate my parents is I remember one time my dad found cocaine in my room, right? He was like going in my room. He asked me where like some like cough medicine or something was, cause he was sick. And I told him, oh yeah, it's in this, in this cubby in my room. And he goes in there and I forgot that I left an 8-ball of cocaine there. And so he finds the 8-ball of cocaine, he calls me and I'm at the bar and he's like, John,